Alright, in this video we're going to be looking at an introduction to index notation. So index notation is when we have a large number and a little number there. So this number here is the number that has been multiplied over and over again. So index notation is a shorthand way of writing these long numbers here. So we have 2 times 2 times 2, which is this number here, and that is what we call the base. Now then, the amount of times that number has been multiplied, so we've got 1, 2, 3, that is this number up here, and that is what we call the index. Sometimes it is also called the power. So we need to make sure we're understanding that 2 to the power of 3, so that's how we say this thing here, 2 to the power of 3, or 2 to the 3, is equivalent to 2 times 2 times 2. So just avoiding some common mistakes that people make. 2 to the power of 3 does not mean 2 times 3, which is a common mistake, so we need to try and get that out of our heads. 2 to the power of 3, which is this. A lot of people also think it's 6, which is incorrect as well, because they see the 3 2's and they just multiply it out to be 6. So essentially when we see 2 to the power of 3, we're thinking, okay, that is 1, 2, 3. And if we're actually to evaluate or work out the answer, it's 2 times 2, which is 4. 4 times 2, so my actual answer should be 8. So when you're looking at index form, so the shorthand way, we need to make sure we know the difference between index form, expanded form, and when the question is asking for the answer. So let's say we have 3 to the power of 4. So the shorthand way is what we call index form. Index form or index notation, because it has a little index here. The longhand way that shows that we understand what the index form means is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So remember, we've got our base over here, and that's the number that's been multiplied over and over again. And then our index is 4 because it's been multiplied 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So that there is what we call the expanded form. So it's been made bigger or longer. So the expanded form. Now if a question actually wants the answer, they will say evaluate or calculate the value of. If they're actually trying to ask for the answer, they want you to work out 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27, then 27 times 3 again, our actual answer will be 81. Or a quick way to do it would be, we know that's 9, we know that's 9, multiply them together. So that is just the answer or the basic numeral. So numeral means number. So let's look at one more example of those 3 forms. So if we have, for example, let's go with 4 times 4 times 4. So making sure you know what that is the long way, so that's what we call the expanded form. Then if we want the shorthand way, we know we have the number 4 being multiplied over and over again, and it's happening 3 times. So 4 to the power of 3 is what we call the index form. And then if we are actually going to work it out, we can use a calculator like we've learned in class, or we can actually work out, so 4 times 4 is 16, and if we're working out 16 times another one of those 4's, then we would end up getting 64. So my answer is going to be 64, and that's if the question asks for an answer. Sometimes they just want the index form, that's when you would be doing this.